Now, how does respiration occur in animals? Okay, for simple unicellular organism like amoeba, it will take place by simple diffusion. Okay, and yeah, but for most animals, right, there is requirement of specific organ for respiration. Okay, amoeba, how it is? Simple diffusion of gases through cell membrane. Most animals require specific organ. Now, so we can see this species, what will be the organ, right? Here we'll find gills. For fishes, it is gills. For, right, fishes, prawns, all the aquatic animals, there will be gills, okay? And then for grasshoppers, right, insects like grasshoppers, houseflies, mosquitoes, right, they have tiny holes that is called spiracle, or like in cockroaches they have tracheates, right, air tubes, small, okay. What about earthworm? And what is this? Leeches. This is leech. Okay. And this is earthworm. How does respiration happens in earthworm and leeches? Right? Skin, moist skin. Through their moist skin, there is exchange of gases. They absorb oxygen from air and remove carbon dioxide. And in aquatic animals, right, like fish, how does that happen? So the oxygen will be dissolved in the water. So this gills will extract oxygen, dissolve in water and take away carbon dioxide from the body. So gills is the respiratory organ in fishes. Also the amount of, yes, hello Rudhanil. So also the amount of dissolved oxygen, right, in water is low. Okay, it is low. Amount of dissolved oxygen in water, it's low in comparison to us. Okay, in the air, in comparison to oxygen in air. So the rate of breathing in the aquatic animals, it will be much faster. Okay, rate of breathing is much faster than in terrestrial animals. And how do we breathe? We breathe through lungs. Land animals like man, lizard, dog, all of us will breathe through the lungs. Okay. Now we'll go for the respiration in humans. What is respiration? Anyone? Simple way you can say the process by which energy is released from the food in our body. What are the byproduct of respiration? We have previously learned, right? Carbon dioxide and water, right? Byproduct. The process of respiration takes place inside the cell of our body. Okay, now it involves our respiratory system. What is the function of respiratory system? Its function is to breathe in oxygen for respiration and to breathe out carbon dioxide. The gases exchange between blood and air are oxygen and carbon dioxide. Now, what is inhalation? Anyone?
The process of taking in air through the mouth or nose.
Correct. Safia. Yeah, good afternoon. Shazam. Okay. So the process of taking in air rich in oxygen during breathing is called inhalation. Rich in what? Oxygen. Okay, during breathing. And what is exhalation? It is expelling, right? Exhalation, expelling, or giving out the air rich in carbon dioxide. Okay, main point is this thing, expelling, giving out, taking in. What is a breath? What is a breath? A breath means one inhalation plus 1 exhalation. We know that air contains oxygen. So when we breathe in air, it is actually the oxygen gas present in the air, which is utilized by our body. How it is utilized? To break down food and produce energy. So what happens? We breathe in air to supply oxygen to the cells of our body. For what? For the breakdown of food to release energy. And when we breathe out, what happens? What happens? To remove waste product. Waste product, what is that? Carbon dioxide from our body, which is produced during the breakdown of food in the cells. Okay. So breathing is continuous process. Now we'll go for the mechanism of breathing. Okay. The process of breathing take place in our lungs. Okay. How is our lung? You have seen this lung, right? This takes place here. Lungs are connected to our nostrils. Okay. Here we have our nostrils. There is hole in our nose, right? That is the nostril. Uh, then uh, through nasal passage and windpipe is also there. Okay. Then when we inhale air, it enters our nostril and passes through nasal passage. See, nostrils. After that, nasal passage. Okay. Then it will reach our lungs. So our lungs, we have two lungs, right? Right. Our two lungs hang in airtight space, which is called chest cavity. Okay, around the size of chest cavity, we have rib cage. This is the picture of. This is the rib cage, right? The rib cage, it has sheets of muscles. This pink color you see, right? Those are the muscles between the ribs. Okay. Then rib cage encloses the lungs in it. So lungs is enclosed by the rib cage. So at the bottom we have diaphragm. Floor of the chest cavity we have diaphragm. Okay. Breathing involves this diaphragm and the rib cage. This rib cage. Okay. Now, what happens when we are breathing in? Breathing in. That time, when we breathe in, two things happens at the same time. Okay. The muscles between the ribs, they contract. So they contract, and because of that, rib cage will move upward and outward. It will move upward and outward. See, and also diaphragm, what will happen? It will also contract and it will move downward. So because of that, there will be increase. The space in the chest cavity will increase, and yes, so it will make the chest cavity in the space larger. Because of that, the air will get inside. Air will be sucked in, okay, from outside into the lungs. When we are breathing in, what will happen? Our rib cage will move upward and outward. Rib cage upward and outward. Then our diaphragm, what will happen in diaphragm? Diaphragm will move downwards. The space, there will be increase in this space in the chest cavity. Now next, in breathing out, this was about the breathing. Breathing out, right? What will happen when we breathe out? Also here also two things happen at the same time. The muscle between ribs will relax, okay? Then it will move downward and inwards. And also diaphragm at the same time, diaphragm will move upward. So because of that, both the thing what if they are doing the same thing, right? Not same thing. Their rib cage is moving right downward and inward, and this diaphragm is moving upward. So because of this movement, what will happen? There will be decrease in the space of the chest cavity, and it will make it smaller Because of that, it will become smaller. So what is happening here? Rib cage downward and inward. It will relax. Here, contract. And diaphragm upward. So this is the mechanism of breathing. Now the last thing, how is this happening? So the main organ of respiratory system are, what are those? Can anyone name them? Nose, nasal passage, or nasal cavity, you can call them, trachea, bronchi, lungs, and diaphragm. Okay. So our respiratory system begins from the nose. Okay. Our nose have two holes, right? What is that called? Nostrils. And behind the nose there is passage that is called nasal passage or nasal cavity. So from where the air will come? From the nostrils. Then it will go to the nasal passage. And this nasal passage, right, nasal cavity, is separated from the mouth cavity. How it is separated? From bony palate. And why it is separated? So that even if we are eating, there won't be any interruption. So next, after this nasal passage, right? This nasal passage, what does it contain? It contains fine hair, right? Hair and mucus. Mucus. So when air passes through the nasal passage, what will happen? The dust particles and the other impurities, right? It will get trapped in this hair, right? And mucus, so that only the clean air will get into our lungs. Okay. After this nasal passage, it will go to the pharynx. Then after pharynx, it will go to the trachea or windpipe. And why does this trachea doesn't collapse? Because it has rings of cartilage, right? So this rings of cartilage support the trachea. And also after that, what will happen? This trachea will go down the neck and it will divide into two small tubes. What is that called? Bronchi. This is one, the singular one, the singular thing we call is bronchus. Both the thing we call it bronchi. For the plural, bronchi. For the singular, bronchus. Okay. And these two bronchi are connected to the two lungs. Where is this lung present? Lung is present in the chest cavity, which we have already discussed. Or you can say thoracic cavity. And it is separated from the abdominal cavity by the diaphragm. Abdominal cavity means the digestive system. From there, it is separated from the, how it is separated? By diaphragm. Okay. Now this this bronchus, right? This will divide to form large number of smaller tubes, which is called bronchioles. Okay. And right, the smallest bronchioles will have tiny air. Okay. Air sac, tiny air sac. You can see this thing, right? This is called alveoli. And this alveoli, they are very thin and they contain vessel. What is that vessel? Blood capillaries. So in alveoli only, what will happen? The oxygen is taken into the body and carbon dioxide is eliminated. So in other words, we can say that in alveoli, what will happen? Gaseous exchange will take place. And this alveoli, how millions of alveoli are present in our lungs. Because of that, it will provide large area for the gaseous exchange. So how is this all happening? So when we are breathing in, the diaphragm and muscles which is attached to the ribs will contract, right? Because of that, the chest cavity will expand, right? So because of this expansion movement, what will happen? what will happen? There will be increase in volume inside the chest cavity. And because of increase in volume, what will happen? Air pressure will decrease inside the chest cavity. And the air from outside will get inside our lungs. Because outside there will be higher pressure through the nostrils. The air will come in to the nostrils, tracheas, and bronchus, right? So this way, during the process of breathing in, the air sac or alveoli will be filled with air containing oxygen. Okay, and also we know that the alveoli are surrounded by the thin vessels called blood capillaries, right? Which have blood in them, right? So the oxygen of the air will diffuse, right, out from the alveoli into the blood, right? From the alveoli it will go into the blood. After that, what will happen? The oxygen will be carried by the blood to all parts of the body. This we have seen in the transportation. As the blood, what will happen? Blood will go to the all tissues, right? And then it will, the oxygen will be diffused into the cell, right? It will get inside the cells. And what will happen? This oxygen will combine with food, right, like glucose, and it will release energy, plus there will be waste product, that is carbon dioxide, right? And this carbon dioxide again it will diffuse into the blood. After that, what will happen? This blood will carry carbon dioxide back to the lungs, and where it will diffuse in the alveoli. So what will happen when we breathe out? The diaphragm and muscles, right, will relax. Because of that, chest cavity will contract and it will become smaller. Because of this movement, what will happen? Carbon dioxide will be pushed out from the alveoli of the lungs into the tracheates back way, right? From tracheates, then pharynx, then nasal passages, then from nose it will get into the air, right? This is how it is happening. So what are the passage? From nostril, right? Then where it will go? Nasal passage or nasal cavity. From there to what will happen here? Here, filtration, right? By hair and mucus. After that, oxygen. Oxygen from air. Okay. From there, where it will go? Tell me. Pharynx. So, right. Then from there to trachea and windpipe, or you can say windpipe. From there to where it will go? Bronchus. Next, bronchioles. Then alveoli. From alveoli, right? It has capillaries. From capillaries to tissues, right? Now we can use different color here. From tissues, there will be release of carbon dioxide. Then from tissues, carbon dioxide will go to capillaries. This is breathing out, right? Then from this capillaries to this alveoli, right? From alveoli, then to bronchioles. Then from bronchioles to bronchus. Then from there to tracheates, then pharynx, then again nasal passage, from there nostril, and from nostril out, right? So this is the entire breathing in process, respiration. Okay, any doubt here? Safiya and Rudnin,
Yes, ma'am.
any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so we have completed our respiration. Okay, we'll have test on respiration. Also, there is one more test, that is transportation left. Okay, so next test.
Where is the test?
Yeah,
Where is the test?
yeah. Next class.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, you will have test on transportation and also respiration.
Okay, ma'am.
Most probably not on Wednesday. I think I'll get one class for this test. Okay. For regular class, I will complete this. The next thing I'll start expression. I'll start. Okay. So everyone, be ready. Rudhanil, any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Then thank you, guys. Take care. Bye bye. One more thing. When your test will start, Rudhanil?
Oh, ma'am, which test?
I mean the half yearly.
Ma'am, September 16th.
September when?
16th.
16th. Okay. And Safia?
Mine are starting from 12th September.
Okay. And Sezon?
Ma'am, 16.
Okay. Thank you. All the best for your test.